Hello, this is Steve Hermann, the author of Mediumship Mastery, the Ultimate Guide, available on Amazon, and I am in beautiful Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp, Cassadaga, Florida. I'm right outside of the Healing Center here at the camp. It's fantastic energy here. I love it here. Perfect place to do a video like this. I've been coming here for decades, and I'm going to be here much of the month, doing a lot of sessions, teaching a lot of workshops and programs for the development of healing and mediumistic ability. And I'll tell you this, when it comes to any type of mediumship, working at Cassadaga is fantastic. And I want to talk a little bit about mediumistic development in this video, specifically about past life readings. So we have to ask the question, is it possible to do a past life reading? Is it possible for a medium to receive information about the past physical incarnations of the recipient who they're working with? And as far as I can tell you from my own experiences over the decades working as a medium, yes, it's definitely possible to receive that type of information. You will definitely, if you open yourself up to the spirit world, you can receive that type of information. It will be relevant, it will be helpful, it will be of great, immense benefit to the recipient of the communication. Why? Because it will address certain patterns of thought, patterns of their life that may not be harmonious, that may be somehow detrimental or holding them back. And just as we're influenced by our past, how we've been brought up environmentally, the conditions that have been around us, people we've interacted with, just within this physical life, going back to when we're little kids, going back even as infants, or even before we're born in the womb of our moms, there's all these different factors that contribute to who we are today. And people will go to therapists for years and years working on certain issues. And a lot of it does have to do with just conditions in their own family, their own environmental upbringing. But when we get into our spiritual evolution, when we really look at, we've come into these physical plane lives and we're eternal spirit souls. Now, so I don't have any type of problem with that because the soul is eternal. We've existed after the destruction of the physical body, and we've certainly existed before conception and before physical birth. We're an eternal spiritual being. Now, there are certainly some people who really just feel, hey, you come here once and that's it, you kick the bucket and leave. There's other people who really feel that mediumship should just be completely factually based on information and details that can be validated. And one of the issues that some people would have with any type of past life information, which I feel is valid, would be, well, how do you prove something like this? I mean, let's just say, for example, you went to a medium and they describe some alleged past life. How would you be able to take that information and really validate it? Now, I'll tell you, in most cases, you probably wouldn't be able to do this. But I know in my own situation, working as a medium, information has come through consistently when I work with people, and this is not something that happens all the time, but when it does happen, it's very, very distinctively pertinent to specific issues within that person's life. And when they describe past lives, they will relate certain patterns or incidents, situations from that particular past life that have been brought into this particular physical plane life in the present and are affecting the person who's the recipient. So by knowing this, by receiving this type of information, it's of great healing and it's of great benefit therapeutically in helping the individual here who's the recipient of the communication process things within their own life and make adjustments and actually evolve and heal from being held back. And people spend so much money. They go for years to therapists trying to work on things just in this life. But we, as eternal spirit souls, our life does not just begin with this physical birth. Potentially, we can bring a lot of baggage with us into this particular life. I remember one time I had this one lady come to me for a session, and she was really into healing. She was the most loving, peaceful, minded, just very much oriented toward pacifism, oriented toward extending her spiritual energy out to assist others and bringing universal harmony and world peace. And I remember during the session, the higher personalities, they showed me literally pyramids of skulls. And I was shown this going way back, many, many, many centuries. And I was given the information that she had been in some leadership type of position. And they had gone into these villages. They had gone into these communities. Basically, they had massacred the people. And, they would just cut the heads off and put them in pyramids of skulls. And because of this, this woman, since this had happened many, 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 many centuries before, this woman had gone through, there had been retribution. There had been, on a soul level, understanding that this was not something that was good. But she still had this great feeling that she still, had done so much wrong. And really, a lot of hangups, there's a lot of baggage associated with this particular life that she, even though she's totally oriented toward peace, toward love, so much of that had to do to make up for her being the exact opposite, going back to that particular past life. And very, 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 very heavy, the type of information that I was shown. And of course, during the session, that was just part of the session. There would have been loved ones that came through and other communicators, as well as other guidance that would have related to her and helped her in the present. But the past life bit of information, and she could relate to that completely with what I was talking about. And that's one of many examples that I could articulate. But I would suggest, if you want to work doing past life readings, working with people, bringing through this type of information, you can definitely put it out there to your helpers in the spirit world. Now, the helpers in the spirit world, the higher teachers who work with us, they don't just see someone on a mundane type of level. They see the overall soul picture of that individual. So they can see the person's past, they can see how the past has contributed to what's going on in the present in an individual's life, and they can also see how someone is living, what types of patterns they have that may be holding them back. And so, when you're doing a session with someone as a medium, it's not all about bringing through evidence of survival. That may be part of it, and oftentimes that's essential. But oftentimes, as a medium, you will also be receiving guidance from the spirit world to help that person with their soul growth, to assist that individual in overcoming blocks that may be holding them back. Because we all want to evolve, we all want to grow, and that's really what the purpose of life is. It's getting back to God, connecting with God, elevating yourself to a higher level. And so past life information, in terms of clearing up clutter or baggage from the past, it's something which is part of the healing process oftentimes. Not always, because sometimes, in most cases, I would say that type of information doesn't come through. But when it does come through, I can tell you from my own experience, it's extremely relevant. So these are just some things for you to think about and to incorporate possibly within your own mediumship. And of course, there is a fine line between delusion and genuine psychic impressions and genuine communications from the spirit world. So of course, someone could say, my gosh, someone's just deluded. They're saying all this stuff about a past life. How do you prove it? In most cases, you can't prove it. But if you're actually working with the higher spirits, the information that you get, and you have to trust the world of spirit 1,000%, the information that you receive in regards to past lives, it will make sense. It will resonate. It will be very, very, very relevant to the recipient of the communication. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do a lot of online courses, in-person courses. I do one-on-one mentoring with people with their mediumship. Please, check out my book, Mediumship Mastery, the Ultimate Guide. It's used as a textbook worldwide for developing mediums by many teachers of mediumship. But I love teaching mediumship and I love helping people with the mediumship. So feel free to message me at any point if I can help you in any way. So take good care and may God bless each and every one of you watching this video.